Shout out to everybody. Come on in, come on through. Lord have mercy. Look, shout out to my beautiful mod Pika who said, "Rabbit, you misspelled HIPAA." Well, at least I didn't spell hippo. Thank you. Shout out to everybody. Hopefully you guys can hear me. Let me see. I'm just trying to update everybody and let everybody know that I'm in here. That we are in here. I'm gonna have to fix that thumbnail afterwards. That is so annoying. I am so sorry. And I probably should fix it at some point here. Shout out to everybody. Come through, come through, come through. All right, where am I at? Where do I see all the people here? Okay, everybody in here. Shout out to everybody. Let me see where all these comments are at. How are you guys doing, all my beautiful, wonderful members? I know. I was like, I got it. I misspelled it. It was late at night. Let me fix it and see if that's gonna bug me. You guys have to understand. That is gonna bug me. Um, why doesn't spell check know the difference between HIPAA and HIPAA, like the spelling? You know what I'm saying? Let me download it right now. Let me fix it right now. Here it is. Because this is gonna bug me. I'm not gonna like get over it, and then it's gonna be some thumbnail out there with a horrible misspelling, and I just can't live that down. You know? All right. Let me save it, and I'm gonna upload it right quick. Shout out to everybody as I'm fixing this situation right now. Let me fix this thumbnail. Thank you guys for correcting me, guys. I am not above correction. If a content creator gets mad at you for correcting them, then there's something wrong with that content creator. Okay, let me see. I think I got it. Okay, let me change it. And yes. Okay, did it change? All right, check it out. Check it out. Let me know if it changed the thumbnail. Oh, okay. All right. Jennifer says, hold up. But HIPAA is Lindsay's like HIPAA. Is it a hippo or HIPAA? Straight facts. You guys got to correct me. Let me know if I F up. Jennifer says, just wanted to let everybody know that here in New Mexico, this is not on the news channels and will probably only be reported at noon or this evening. All have a good day. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So, and let me not like misinform people, but I was actually on TikTok last night and noticed who is it, Abby Blabby, and I gotta credit her, you guys, because every time Abby Blabby's always on it, as far as this case goes, as well as who is it, oh my gosh, there's another one. Hold up. And I'm drawing a blank right now. And I'm going to make sure that I also credit her too, because she's always on this case as well. And these are TikTokers, every creator, they do their work on their content. And so you have to kind of give them credit. And I definitely do give them credit. I'm going to put their information in the description box so you guys can go check them out if you have TikTok. If you don't, then that's fine. I also have a TikTok. I'm not able to go live until I have like 200 plus, I think 200 more followers. And then we're able to go live over there, which I'd like to try. I heard that's a whole different monster, but you know what I'm saying? Let's see. Cal, can you tell me if the thumbnail is fixed? Let me know. Let me know. Okay, Nebulous, welcome. Natalie, welcome, welcome. Peekaboo, everybody come through. I think I saw Cash in there. Maybe Peekaboo, don't look back. Tinkle Tits, how you doing, my love? How are you doing? Who else is in the house? My beautiful, wonderful members. Linda, how you doing? No, we're going to talk about that in a minute. Okay, the attorney is doing what attorneys are supposed to do. They're supposed to raise issues. We're going to talk about that. Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy, but we're going to talk about it. Hey, Pay Girl. Welcome, Little Devil. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Karma, I've got words. Deborah, Chico, Liz, everybody come through. Well, thank you, Janessa. Thank you. You've been watching your phone like a hawk? Oh, Lord. SW, SW, SW. Thank you again. Generally, Jenny Wim. Thank you. Who else? Who else? Who else? Hoping for answers. Christy B, welcome, my love. Welcome, welcome. Oh my God. Yo, y'all's Nana not drunk. Puzzled to pieces. Welcome. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Budget Jones. Welcome. Thank you for coming through. Okay. And make sure you guys are hitting that like button. I think I've said hello to everybody. Hey Nat, how are you, love? Tricky Vicky, TT with the good tea. TT with the good Tiffany, excuse me. Dutch, welcome. I know I corrected it. Oh Lord, I corrected Okay. Erika, how you doing? Rose with Thorns, everybody. Twisted Taurus, yes. 3 and Me, hola, ¿cómo estás? Sarah Silva, for F's sakes, how you doing? Legal Addiction. Oh, I'm gonna show you what my TikTok handles are here in a minute. Okay. So I thought, I was like, there's no way. There's no way. You know, we knew that from the last upload and the last conversation that we had about Mr. Gary Mitchell, that he's the attorney. He's going to pull all the stunts. You know, he's questioning the autopsy. He's questioning everybody, the staff. He's questioning the questions at this point, right? Because he's trying to defend his client. Well, so he filed some new motions, right? And I could not access my Pacer account. I don't know why, it's giving me some issues. So I was on TikTok. I saw Miss Abby Blabby talking about this, okay? And I was just, and we're going to slow her down so we can look at the documents screenshot by screenshot. But I was blown away. He's going to raise the issue of HIPAA violations for those medical professionals here in the chat. He's going to raise that issue. He's going to raise the issue of police misconduct. And he's at the end requesting for this case to be dismissed. Think I'm playing. All right, let's watch this.
Holy shit, I have a huge ALEXEE TREVIZO update for you. So in Gary Mitchell's recent interview with Court TV, he said he was going to be filing motions. He filed a 14-page motion to suppress basically any of the dialogue that happened at the hospital that night. He's going after the hospital, the police. He's accusing everybody of misconduct.
Everybody.
Here we go. Here's page 1. Comes now the defendant, ALEXEE TREVIZO, by and through her attorney, Gary Mitchell, and gives notice of privilege, moves to suppress all evidence received in violation of her doctor-patient privilege. Then it talks about HIPAA. Page 2, on January 26th, she went to high school and then attended cheer practice for over 3 hours. That night, she woke her mom up, advising she had tremendous pain in her lower back. She was taken to the only hospital in Artesia. It lists the doctor's names. There it talks about HIPAA a little bit more. Down here, they have violated the requirements. Continues on page 3, more about HIPAA, and then just gives a whole bunch of definitions regarding the HIPAA law. Continues here on page 4. Okay, so page 5 and number 13, ALEXEE TREVIZO is age 19, gave no consent to disclose her medical records, videotapes, lab tests, lab reports, videos, pictures, personal identifiers, birth date, telephone number, social security number, address, or any other record. She did not consent to her doctors or any of the staff disclosing her confidential information or to the Artesia Police Department.
I must stop it right there. HIPAA violations because they had to disclose all of this information to the Artesia Police Department. Because they were doing a murder investigation, right? You think that really? Kelly Vlog says, unfortunately, they were wrong for that. But what? So I guess when does it become like if there's an active murder investigation at that moment? Then what is the line? I never even thought about that, honestly. Kelly, what do you think? Tell me. I'm just saying, no risk management was present at the staff interviews. I don't think they knew what the hell was going on. So at the time that they came to investigate, okay, the body cam footage, all of that was released, right? Well, when does it stop becoming HIPAA? I guess that's the question. Once she commits, that's what I thought. That once she committed the crime, it's no longer a matter of HIPAA. The hospital had a duty to respond. There's still HIPAA, and I can see that. Y'all, tell me where my beautiful, wonderful medical professionals or those that have the opposing view, tell me where because I really want to know. I really want to know. So that's HIPAA, all right? Let me keep playing while you guys are gathering your thoughts in the chat.
Disclosing it to the public. Sadly, all have. Then under that, they're accusing the police department of leaking everything. Just some more details here about HIPAA and how ALEXEE's medical information, including videotapes of her in the hospital, being treated, being placed in the helicopter for transport to another hospital, have all been disclosed to the general public, to the media, placed on social media, yada, yada, yada. Here's page 7. Now, page 8 at the top says the HIPAA privacy rule permits a hospital may alert law enforcement about the death of an individual if the hospital suspects that the death may have been caused by criminal conduct. In this context, the hospital may disclose information about the individual who died. The HIPAA privacy rule permits if a hospital believes in good faith that criminal conduct occurred on its premises, the hospital may disclose to a law enforcement official information related to such suspected criminal conduct. Rule 11-504 makes no such allowances. Then you can read the rest of that. Go ahead and get a screenshot or pause your screen.
We're going to be paused. We're going to review
More about
this.
the laws and the rules.
We're going to review this in a minute. I promise you. We'll
More on page 10. It continues on page 11 here. Now down here, police and one of the doctors of ALEXEE TREVIZO came into her hospital room where she was to be examined and where treatment was supposed to be happening to prevent excessive bleeding and blocked her being able to leave. She was in detention. Police, in fact, told her that she was being detained. Thus, she was in custody for purposes of Miranda. The doctor coordinating with the police then questioned her. Such was done in a violation of Miranda versus Arizona. This is page 12. Page 13, police committed misconduct for wrongfully obtaining and disclosing confidential privileged information.
Police.
Continuing on page 13, look at number 45. In this case, the obtaining and distribution of privileged information is so willful and wanton, there is no remedy that is sufficient except dismissal of the case with prejudice. And the final page, wherefore it is respectfully requested all statements made by ALEXEE TREVIZO be suppressed. All medical records disclosed in violation of the privilege and or HIPAA be suppressed. The case be dismissed due to misconduct and for such other and further relief as to the court is just and proper. Holy shit. I have a huge ALEXEE TREVIZO update for you. So.
All right. So the police misconduct for releasing footage, okay, body cam footage. I guess it wasn't supposed to be released. I don't know. The hospital for releasing the footage of, I guess, her walking around, you know, in the bathroom and whatnot. So it was a lot of footage that was released. Lots and lots of footage that was released that we saw it. We saw it before Law and Crime saw it. We were talking about it way before these bigger networks and channels were talking about it, right? What do you guys think about all that? Let me go to this. And I was trying to see, how come I can't make this? Hold up.
Oh, and Gary Mitchell's recent interview with Court TV, he said he was...
Hold up. Because we're going to go to those documents here in a minute. I don't know why Pacer was hating on me this morning as I was trying to log in and it just won't let me get to those docs. 1 second. Okay. Here we go. Exercise of privilege motion to suppress motion for protective orders and Pena versus Espinosa procedure determination. So here they list, here comes ALEXEE TREVIZO by and through her attorney, Gary C. Mitchell, to give notice of privilege. Evidence received in violation of her doctor-patient privilege, NMR rule, HIPAA, let's see, most commonly known as HIPAA, the right for medical records and privacy are set forth. She also moves to suppress all statements taken in violation of her patient rights pursuant to the Constitution of New Mexico and the United States. Okay. And hold up. We're going to go to the next page. So she's claiming violation of her rights, patient rights. On January 26, 2023, ALEXEE J. Trevizo, age 19, a senior at Artesia High School, attended high school and then Artesia High School cheer practice for over 3 hours. So that was on the 26th. This was the day before the 27th, right? On January 26th of 2023, at around 23:47 hours, she woke up her mother advising her that she had tremendous pain in her lower back. She was taken to the only hospital in Artesia, New Mexico, which is Artesia General Hospital. On January 27, 2023, she was seen in the emergency room of the Artesia General Hospital located at New Mexico, A82110 at 3 hours. Artesia General Hospital claims at its website to be a community-based, not-for-profit organization based on a special hospital district board governed by the board of directors and owned by the citizens of Artesia Special Hospital District as created by the Act of New Mexico legislature. The attending ER was Dr. Blank Blank. Artesia General Hospital is its personnel, its staff, its nurses. Dr. Marshall Vasquez are all subject to they're all subject to HIPAA. Okay. Let's see what else it says. That there was hold up. This is interesting. They had a let me see if Abby moves her head out of the way. Barry, a subsequent treating physician, they had an obstetrician gynecologist affiliate located Roswell, Chattanooga County. Okay. Did they have an affiliate close by? Damn it. Right above her head, it says there. Unless there was like an affiliate nearby or close by. That's what I'm saying, Natalie. Does HIPAA violation negate murder? Like, okay, say her shit was violated, right? Say everything was violated about her information, but what is murder, right? Like, she double knotted that baby in there. None of us should have ever seen those videos of her on the hospital camera before the trial. Their negligence might get her off. And then who leaked the photos? You remember those? You guys remember those? When we were watching the interviews with the CNA? Somebody leaked those photos. Remember the ones that everybody was like, we had a live and I told you guys, I'm not showing these photos there. This is bad. I don't know. But is it prejudice if they would have been released during the trial anyway? I don't think so. Wow, that's a good point. She was Mirandized. They questioned her legally and under narcotics. Illegally and under narcotics. Everything was released before the autopsy camp came back to prove that a homicide had even taken place. Oh my God. Mireya says, unfortunately, I think she may get off on a technicality. I just wonder if they'll do it with or without prejudice. That's what I'm saying is how does violating HIPAA rights change any of this? Yeah, Christy, the photos had been leaked. Somebody if you guys remember, when the interviews happened with the staff, the detectives didn't even know that the tech had taken photos of the baby in the liner, in the trash can, and the scene. They had taken photos. And so suddenly that happens January 27th, right? And then the interviews don't happen until mid-April. And the detectives on the camera while they're filming this interviews, he's finding out that there's this tech who's been sitting on photos for the last 3 or 4 months of this baby. So when you're on TikTok, somebody actually showed those pictures of this baby in the trash can. And so I had a live a couple weeks ago saying, if you guys want justice for this baby, this is not how you go about it. You don't show photos like this. You don't leak this stuff. People were showing this. I'm not showing that. But that's effed up. Seriously. Yep, she did. Someone says, I'm not sure what HIPAA is as I'm Australian. Can you please explain that? So, I mean, here, I'll look it up. I don't want to like misinterpret, but Essentially, these are privacy rules that our healthcare system has to abide by. So, let me see if I can give you a shorter summary of it. So, like, if you get medical care, you in order for the facility to meet certain standards of care, you have like there's privacy that needs to be met. So it's like the required creation of national standards to protect sensitive health information from being disclosed without patient consent or knowledge. So like when you fill out those hospital and medical forms and it tells you non-disclosure laws, it tells you, can we leave you a voicemail? You tell them yes or no. Can we talk to so and so? You tell them yes or no, like that kind of stuff. That's what it essentially it's meant to protect you. Medical records and interactions protected between patient and doctor, basically. Thank you. That's a shorter version of it. So the attorney here is raising that issue about Alexei and her treatment. Yeah, people are innocent until proven guilty. Now, all the leaks will affect how the court case goes. Trial by media may not have left. Right, 3andMe. That's a good question. All right, so let's keep going with this. This is just crazy. This is crazy. So, hold up. Next screen. Hold up. This is she's reviewing page 2. There was something on page 2 that I wanted to capture. Dr. Colin Berry, a subsequent treating physician, is an OB-G, okay, located in Roswell, New Mexico. Hospital personnel, its staff, its nurses. So they're just saying that there was another doctor in a different facility that had, experience in OBGYN, basically. Hold up. Not that he was available. There's more on the act. This is page 3. They set so here is like rule number 11. It's like a copy and paste version of all of the privileges that they abide by, and so he put this over on this motion. Okay? It says right here, number 9, a complaint has been filed as required by HIPAA with the Artesian General Hospital and the Lovelace Regional Hospital, Roswell, the Attorney General of the state of New Mexico, and with the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services. So they, wow, they filed a complaint. So HIPAA violation categories, civil violations and criminal violations. An example of administrative violations would be to use the wrong code on a claim transaction, while the example of a HIPAA violation would be to deny a patient access to a copy of their protective health information. A criminal HIPAA violation is when a covered entity, business associate, or member of an either business workforce has wrongfully and knowingly accessed, obtained, or transmitted protective health information without authorization for a purpose prohibited of the Social Security Act. Criminal violation of HIPAA can incur substantial fines and jail sentence. Wow, so it's 5. Now, page 5. ALEXEE TREVIZO is age 19, gave her consent to disclose her medical records, videotapes. Artesia actually films a portion of the ER room and of the traffic in the ER room, lab tests, reports, videos, pictures, personal identifiers, birthdays, telephone numbers, and social security numbers, address, or other records. She did not consent to her doctor or any of the medical staff disclosing her confidential information to the Artesian Police Department or to the public. Y'all see that? Let me move myself. Okay? She did not consent for any of this to have been disclosed. So then the argument is going to be, when does it stop being HIPAA? Right? She also didn't consent to being checked. emphasize the A, the E's, and the K's, right? In this document, he's asking her charges be dismissed with prejudice. That means vacate. She can never be charged again without prejudice. Absolutely. Thank you, True Crime Dime. So this is, oh my God. So she didn't consent for the hospital to release this information to the police. So in the argument is going to be is, when did it stop? When did it stop being HIPAA? When did I would have thought that the minute that 911 was called and their investigators are there, that it would have stopped. Then it's a crime scene investigation, right? That's what I thought. But listen, but the defense attorney's going to do what he's going to do, right? Why do ooh, Tricky Vicky, why do we have cameras in the hospital if it's a violation? Right? Like, why would they have cameras? Why were those allowed to even be FOIA'd? Why was any of this allowed to be subpoenaed? Why? All of that, the hospital footage, the body cam, that was all FOIA'd. So why was it allowed if there was a violation? They So then that's really the argument, is when does it stop? When does it stop being a violation? Or when does FOIA stop and then the actual criminal investigation happens? Yes, the violation is then being released and leaked before the trial. If it wasn't put out first, no violation. The attorney just trying to bully everybody, says Belinda. I wonder how her mom's treating her like a minor affects all of this. They kept having to remember that she's an adult. Remember her, yeah. I might be no, Mireya, I don't think you are. The hospital have cameras, but not inpatient rooms. That's the difference. Right. So when the body cam when the police officers were wearing their body cam footages, right? And because they were in the room with the body cam footage. There's no camera there. So the minute that a crime occurs, I think FOIA, or excuse me, I think HIPAA stops, no? That's right. Leave it to Beaver. Ooh, Kelly Max says, where you expected an assumption of privacy, the hallways are considered public areas. Not sure about the room. I don't know, you guys. What do you guys think? I don't know. I'm gonna drop the link if anybody wants to come on up and give their 2 cents for like 10 or 15 seconds of their thoughts. Let me hit the link and let me know. I could definitely cover up the screen if need be. Okay. But I'm just reviewing this. And so the police, let me see if I can have Miss Abby here move her head a little bit on page number 5. Okay. Let's see if she moves her head real quick. Hold up. Here it is. The state of New Mexico and in particular the Artesian Police Department, without consent, blank the benefit of subpoena or court order without the benefit of protective orders, obtain all the medical records to include videotapes, medical reports, nurse notes, doctors, labs, and conducted interviews without consent of both doctors and the nurses, and hold up. And staff. So number 14, the state of New Mexico, and in particular the Artesian Police Department, without consent, benefit of subpoena of the court order without benefit of protective orders, obtain all her medical records to include videotapes, medical reports, nurse notes, doctor's notes, lab reports, etc., and conducted interviews without consent of both her doctors, the nurses, and staff did. Okay. We go to page 6. The defense, on behalf of ALEXEE TREVIZO, prior to receipt/taking of any evidence at the preliminary hearing and or the pretrial detention hearing, objected to the admission of any of her protected and privileged information records and asked for and received continuing objection. ALEXEE TREVIZO nor her attorney have at any time waived the doctor-patient privilege or the protection of HIPAA. Number 16, ALEXEE TREVIZO's medical information included the videotapes of her in the hospital being treated, being placed in the helicopter for transportation, which we saw. We all saw that, right? To another hospital have been disclosed to the general public, to the media, placed on social media, and general distribution to the extent even interviews of her treating medical personnel have been published and shown and duplicated and revealed. Mm. Mm-mm-mm. I mean, they're pulling everything. Right. There's a reason why exam rooms aren't in the middle of everywhere or in the waiting area. Right. True. They're away from the waiting area. Usually the waiting area is like a separate room, double doors and everything. I don't know. This will be the technicality that exonerates. Are you serious? You think it's going to result in a mistrial? All right, let me take a vote, okay? Because I want to know, everybody's saying different things. And where do you guys think this is going to land? This will result in mistrial. I'm going to put mistrial because some of you guys have said that. Dismiss without prejudice. Let me add another one. I don't think that's how you spell prejudice, but close enough. It will result to nothing. Oh, that is how you spell prejudice. Okay, cool. I did spell it correct. Nothing. She still, I'm just going to say nothing. All right, mistrial, dismiss without prejudice. Nothing. Okay. Or maybe should it be without or with? With or without? With prejudice. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. All right. That's what I meant to say, with prejudice. All right. Here you go. The polls are there. Mistrial. This will result in dismiss with prejudice and nothing. Listen, it's an attorney. They're going to pull everything that they need to pull. Oh my God, look, y'all are voting. Can you do me a favor? We have over almost 200 people in the chat. Make sure that you're hitting that like button. It helps in the algorithm. Thank you for doing so for those that have. Right, her attorneys has won some case you wouldn't. I know, we've talked about them. Who was it? Bayou Brandy. That's the other TikToker. You guys got to check her out. And I'm gonna put her information in the chat as well. I actually did message Bayou Brandy one day, just to let her know that I had used her material. You know, because some of these content creators, they work really hard for their material and whatnot. And so I wanted to give her credit, as well as Miss Abby Blabby over here. Let me know your thoughts. Let me know your thoughts on this one. Okay? Look at this poll. This is crazy. All right. Let me keep reading. This poll is insane. So far you guys are like half and half with nothing. Well, almost. No, you're saying 42%. Nothing is leading. This will result in nothing. 43. And when you say nothing, it means that there's still going to be a trial for murder. You still feel like there's nothing to worry about here. Okay? It is a disgusting case. I would have to say that. Okay. All right, I'm gonna leave the poll alone and see if I'm surprised by the end of all of this. Okay. So let's keep reading. So, ALEXEE TREVIZO's medical information, including videotapes of her in the hospital being treated, being placed in helicopter for transportation of another hospital to another hospital, have been disclosed to the general public, to the media, and placed on social media and general distribution to the extent even interviews of her treating medical professionals have been published, shown, and duplicated and revealed. That is true. There's been a lot of that. All right. We've seen those here. Number 17, a quick Google search. Ooh, she has over 1 million results in 0.37 seconds. This does not include all of the results from Facebook, YouTube, Pinterest. Pinterest? She's on Pinterest? Who put her on Pinterest? Instagram, TikTok, Reddit, Twitter, LinkedIn? Why would she be on? I'm confused. WhatsApp? Or she's just putting different social media sites, Snapchats, Facebook, Messengers, WeChat, QQ, Telegram. Hold up. Let me see who's in the house. Is this my SW? How you doing, love? Can you hear me? Because I can't hear you. You're muted. Uh-oh. SW, are you there? I don't know. I can't hear you, love. Can you hear
Can you
me?
hear me?
Oh,
Oh,
I hear
I
you
hear
now.
you now.
I hear me
I hear
now.
me now.
SW.
SW.
Oh, it's her sound. Jennifer Ray says, thank you for the $5. Look at it this way. If it was a gang member being treated and pulls a gun out and shoots doctor, would the case be dismissed due to his HIPAA violation? Well, was he at the hospital for treatment? I don't know, Jennifer. I don't know. Was he at the hospital for treatment? You know? And then he decides to shoot everybody? Like, was he at the hospital for like his own treatment and then like his HIPAA violation? That's what I'm saying is, when does it stop being HIPAA violation? I don't know. I don't know. So, okay. So he talks about the quick Google search. Hold up. Let me see if I can get Abby to move her head real quick. Then it says number 18, hospitals and healthcare systems are responsible for protecting the privacy and confidentiality of their patients and patient information. Listing HIPAA again. Regulations establish national privacy standards for healthcare. And then HIPAA prohibits the release of information without authorization from the patient except in special circumstances, except, okay, in the specific situations identified in the regulation. I guess we'd have to look at the regulation to determine if like a crime scene is considered HIPAA at some point, or when does it stop being HIPAA. Pursuant to HIPAA, a hospital may release patient information in response to a warrant or subpoena issue or ordered by a court or a summons issued by a judicial officer. Okay. The hospital may disclose only that information specifically described in the subpoena. Not such subpoena was obtained prior to the release of all this information. So there was no subpoena. Okay, SW says it's no longer HIPAA when police are involved. Did police leak her info or did the hospital leak? That's what I want. Well, that's the argument that the attorney is making. And SW, I'm going to drop the link for you. Okay. I don't know if the good Nunya is down there as well, or if any of the Rabbit members that want to hit the link, feel free to do so. Oh my God. I don't know. Kelly Mac's like, bingo. So the attorney is making the argument that it was the police that leaked the information. Police can get footage, no violation. Releasing that footage to the public before the trial to create a trial by media is a violation. True Crime Dime is coming through, man. Oh my God. I don't know. SW, do you want to be on camera or no? Hold up. Okay, you're not on camera anymore. Hey there.
Hey, sorry, I'm in my car and I'm trying to drive.
You're fine. Be careful, please. Don't get
I'm,
into an
I'm
accident.
trying to switch to my earbuds is what I'm trying to do.
You're fine.
It wouldn't come through the stupid Bluetooth in my car. Can you hear me now?
I can hear you. What do you think?
I know that HIPAA is a big thing, and where I have the confusion lie is how did the cameras for her walking to the toilet get released? Because that would have been a release from the hospital only.
That's a good question. I thought that was part of the FOIA because if you remember the channel True Crime Anayeli, she was one of the first channels, that channel, to have released the whole thing. Did that footage was that included in the FOIA when they made that request?
That is a legal question, but I don't think it has to do with HIPAA. But they should not have been able to get her on a HIPAA. I mean, in my opinion, the death of the baby is one thing, the HIPAA is another.
Yeah.
And I think he is trying desperately to link the two so he can get a plea. And she's no longer going to be a felony. It'll be a misdemeanor. They will try and plea this out.
Yeah.
And that's what he's trying to do, is stir the muddy waters.
Yeah.
To confuse people, to get confusional, and not have to worry about the legality of her, murdering her child.
Yes.
And I don't think she should get off for it. I'm angry, and I think it sets a precedence that she gets nailed. But the hospital blew this through and through. There is a legal liability on the hospital's part.
Yes.
I think it's two separate suits. I think one's a civil and one's a murder.
Oh my God.
It's my opinion. I have no facts to base that on. Sorry.
No, you're fine. What does so you were saying, when does it stop being HIPAA? Like, in your opinion, like, when did it stop being HIPAA?
The moment she created a crime and the police got involved.
Wow.
If that makes sense. Because if you think about it from your perspective and what you used to do when there was an abuse of a child and the police got involved, it was no longer a HIPAA because you had to, by law, share the information to the police.
Yes.
How it leaked from there, I will never know, because I don't think any of us know how it got leaked, so to speak.
Yes.
But I think that's when it became no longer a HIPAA in regards to sharing, because they have a legal obligation to report a crime.
Wow.
And that's a crime.
So as soon as 911 was called, and they went down there and they're investigating, because I think that's where, so the argument, I would agree that he's trying to pull at every straw, but do you think that this would be something that would let her go? Like, do you think, I don't know.
I don't know the law well enough to say yes or no. I know it will muddy the waters if it comes down to a quote unquote trial of her peers.
Yeah.
I think he's muddying it to avoid a trial.
Yeah.
But 19 is 19, and her mother treating her like a child does not help matters. And, you know, I noticed the lawyer always refers to her as a child.
Yes.
And I think he's doing that intentionally to muddy more.
Yes.
But no, she still knew what she did. And she did enough to bury the baby in the plastic bag, twist tie it up, cover it up. That to me shows intent.
Yes, absolutely.
And sorry, it ticks me right off.
No, I hear you.
This case has made me livid since day one.
I know.
But
yes,
I don't know the legal side of it. That's wwhere I shared this to lawyer Mystery Maven, hoping she'd pop up, but she's probably busy because she's a lawyer.
Well, real Lady Justice is here. She's a lawyer. She said they have legal obligation to report, but they needed search warrants to get more. This is going to be so messy. She will get acquittal or a lower charge conviction.
That's what he's shooting for, is the lower charge by muddying the waters. She's spot on. But I don't know my legal side, but the moment it became a criminal charge, so child abuse reporting, suspected adult abuse reporting, I mean, you name it, murder, any of those things, and the police get involved, they have a legal obligation to report to the police. But I don't think anybody knows how it got leaked from there. But the video of the supposed baby in the trash can should have never made it to the public. Her
Those
walking down the
pictures.
hall to the toilet should not have made it down. None of it should have.
So spot on. He is putting pressure on the DA to agree to a plea on a lesser charge, says Real Lady Justice.
If it stays a misdemeanor or she gets probation for this, it will not affect her college career or her future career choices. If they cannot get that down to a lesser plea, then that kid's got a felony or a misdemeanor on her record, and it's going to stay there. And she is over 18, therefore it cannot be expunged.
Wow.
So, sorry, I didn't mean to take your time again.
No, I'm glad I wanted to hear everybody's perspective on it. Definitely complicated issue with the hospital negligence. See, and we were throwing that issue very early on when we were covering this. It's like, it seems like the hospital was very negligent in this situation, you know?
Even if the hospital is not equipped to handle my brain just farted, an OBGYN situation. Every doctor and every nurse had to do a rotation to get their certification and degrees, and they are tested on every aspect of being a doctor and being a nurse. Even being a CNA, being a medical assistant, all of them have a certain test, and it's based on every part of your training, not just what you're specializing in. Therefore, they should have all known the basics. Don't give medication until you know she's pregnant or not pregnant. Do the pregnancy test and say, we're checking and we're getting your meds right now, and walk out of the room till it's done. And then as soon as she said she's pregnant, why was she allowed to go to the bathroom? That's complete. I mean, I know that as a paramedic, and I'm not as highly trained as an RN.
Right.
And never let them go to the bathroom as soon. That was a test question to become a medic.
Really?
Will you? Yes, I remember my questions. I wrote them all down when I was done. We made like a thing, but yeah, no, it's 101. It's one of your basics you're taught. Never let a pregnant person go to the bathroom. And if they're having a miscarriage, you give them like a side commode and let them miscarry in that. You say, I'm sorry, we can't let you out of the room to go to the bathroom, but you can go here. And then none of this would have happened. They did not follow hospital protocols at all. They are wrong. And if I were the lawyer, I'd be going after a civil suit against the hospital for the leaks and for their incompetence.
Because they even said it, like in that interview with the hospital staff, that, and I remember her name. Her name is Erica. She's the one that took the pictures. How did the hospital know that there was a staff that used her device to take pictures of the crime scene, okay, of the baby in the trash can, and they didn't even collect these? Law enforcement didn't collect this until that day was, what is it, 3 months,
3 months
after?
later?
3 months after the fact? That's where I was like, yo, like, does anybody not see this being an issue?
I did. I wouldn't have used my own phone. I would have called an administrator down there to use her phone. But as a regular hospital employee, I don't think I would have done it. But getting those photos tells me they never scooped that baby up and checked for viability for another 5 minutes.
Yeah.
And I mean, if Lexi had pulled the stupid cord in that bathroom and said, holy cow, I just delivered a baby, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. All she had to do, and that baby could still be alive today, ripping that cord for whatever reason she ripped that cord, and how she knew to rip the cord but didn't know anything else. No. Sorry. If she knew how to tear the cord, and knew that she was delivering a placenta and she knew all the other stuff, then I'm sorry, but the math ain't math in there. On that and the likes. So get your likes up. Okay, I said it for you.
Thank you, SW. You're awesome. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you. I'll talk to you later.
All right, you guys. Have a fun day today.
Thank you. Oh my gosh, you guys put some hearts in the chat for SW. Thank you, Real Lady Justice is in the chat as well. And it Sox Baby Girl in the chat. It's my beautiful, wonderful legal birds in the chat. Look, the lawyer's pulling all the stunts at this point, okay? Because they have to do what they have to do. So they go from, and let's finish reading some of this. 21, an administrative request, subpoena, or summon is one that is issued by a federal or state agency or law enforcement official rather than the court of law. For example, a subpoena issued by an attorney general. If a hospital receives an administrative request, subpoena, or summons, a civil or authorized investigative demand, or other similar process authorized by law, patient information may be disclosed only if each of the following requirements is in this three-part tests are met. Relevance. The information requested must be relevant and material to the legitimate law enforcement inquiry. Hold up. How come I can't see that word? The request must be specific. I can't even see that word. Specific. I'll say that. The request must be specific and limited in scope to the extent possible in light of law enforcement. Okay. Hold up. For which the information is requested. Abby, you're going too fast. Hold up. And identifiable information necessary. Okay. And let me see if anything relevant on that, because they're just listing kind of like the rules of HIPAA. The HIPAA privacy rule permits hospitals to make disclosures of patient information for reporting purposes that are required by law. For example, if the state law requires the reporting of certain types of wounds or other physical injuries, a hospital may disclose such information to the extent consistent with these laws. Okay. The HIPAA privacy rule permits a hospital may alert law enforcement about the death of an individual if the hospital suspects that the death may have been caused by criminal conduct. Well, there's rule number 23. HIPAA is saying, number 23, HIPAA privacy and rule permits a hospital may alert law enforcement about the death. Okay, so they did alert. However, they didn't, I guess, when does HIPAA stop? Before or after? And everybody's kind of debating that in the chat. Okay. In context, the hospital may disclose information about the individual who died. So they disclose the information, but does the umbrella of HIPAA reach over to law enforcement who released the information publicly about what happened in the ALEXEE TREVIZO case? That's what it really comes down to, right? Was the arm of HIPAA so long and wide for law enforcement for it have to reach law enforcement? Perfect. Okay, I will do that. The next one. The HIPAA privacy rule permits, if a hospital believes in good faith that criminal conduct occurred on its premise, a hospital may disclose to law enforcement officials information related to such suspected criminal conduct. Okay, but does it say that then, like HIPAA, I would assume that that's when the HIPAA would stop, right? HIPAA stops there once it's law enforcement, right? So I'm just trying to understand, like, why would the PD be liable? I guess I'm just confused by that, and I need to, read into that a little bit more. Let me see. I think it's based on the autopsy. Up until that point, there was not fact proven murder beyond a reasonable doubt. Let me see what you guys are saying. I don't know why he doesn't bring up the morphine is mind altering too. You can't operate a vehicle on it. So surely that could affect their judgment, right? Doesn't say anything about that. She ran off to the bathroom on her own. Were they supposed to tackle her? Sinaloa tacos. Read the next one. I did. Let me see. The hospital knew for about 30 to 40 minutes that she was pregnant before Lexi going to the bathroom. Do you guys? She's gonna probably get off on this technicality. I mean, or plead lower, right? I use the bathroom alone all the time. Both births walked around the hospital pushing my IV to get the baby lower. No one monitored me except every hour for vitals. Okay, cup of coffee. It talks. I'm a New Mexico, excuse me, resident and nurse. Don't tell you the results for anything here. It's posted in all the New Mexico hospitals. Phones are not to be used. That RN should have never taken pictures of her cell phone. Yes. Okay, thank you. Thank you, It Talks. And thank you, Darlene, for the 199 love. And also, I want to thank Miss Annette here, who says, thank you, Rabbit in chat, for your unbiased and factual content in these cases, often on the true crime channels. If you don't agree with their narrative, your opinion is not welcome. I'm sorry. There's a lot of people that don't agree with me. My biggest thing is, as long as we're not rude or you're not trolling, it's not a big deal. We can have opposing views all day, every day. I don't know. Did you guys vote already? And while you're voting, please hit that like button. Did you vote on that poll? Because I put in there, this will result in a mistrial, dismissed with prejudice, or the last one, nothing. Meaning that we're still going to move forward with a trial. Darla says, sorry, joining. A nurse took pictures with her phone. Yes, she did. In the police report, we have a whole playlist of this case. Okay. Give me one sec. We have a whole playlist of this case. In this specific case, there was an interview with a nurse staff who, the CNA that gave the gruesome details. Okay. I will read that. Thank you for putting that up there. The CNA said that Erica, the tech, had taken pictures with her phone of the crime scene before it was even cleaned up, before anything was done. She took pictures of the baby inside the trash can, and law enforcement did not even know that this existed until the day of those interviews. This crime happened the 27th of January. The interviews happened mid-April. Okay? So they were sitting there for like 3-4 months on this. And that's what happened. So these photos got leaked. They did on TikTok. There's TikTokers that have actually had those photos up there. Okay? So keep that in mind. Things were leaked. Then were leaked. Yes, they were. Yes, they were. They were leaked to Reddit. They were leaked to Reddit. All right, let me continue. Yeah, so we talked about that. And I had said to you guys, I went live and I talked about the fact that people were leaking these photos. I don't know. We didn't show them here. We weren't going to be doing that, but we definitely called it out. And we said that's not how you get justice. If you guys really want justice for this baby, you don't do that. And surely now this is being brought as an issue. Keep that in mind. So let's see. It's, what is so interesting to me is that it seems like, even when I'm reading this, it seems like HIPAA was violated even prior, right? Like, wouldn't HIPAA have been violated when her mom was in the room too? Because they're making these disclosures and they're confronting her about her medical situation with mom there. So there's a problem. HIPAA would have been like, he's not even raising the issue on that. Why isn't he saying that mom? See, that's the issue. Why isn't he saying that mom was in the room the whole time while she was getting all this medical treatment, denying that she was pregnant? That's a HIPAA violation too, isn't it? If we're going to talk about HIPAA violations, wouldn't that be a HIPAA violation too? unless she consented for her mom to be there. But like, come on now. I don't know. Just saying. So, and the only reason why I brought that up is because number 26 is the physician-patient privilege is to encourage a patient to make complete disclosures of his or her symptoms and conditions to the physician without fear of publication. Well, and without fear of shame, if the mama was there. Physician-patient privilege applies to all cases, both civil and criminal, for communication to be confidential for the purposes of physician privilege. Two conditions must be met. Patient must intend communication to be undisclosed, and a non-disclosure would further interests of the patient. Okay. Let me keep going. Hold up. I'm letting Abby read a little bit here.
Rule 11-504 makes no such allowances. Then you can read the rest of that.
So, the physician-patient privilege applies when the patient confers with the physician for treatment. Diagnosis. The physician-patient privilege applies to all cases, both civil and criminal. The purposes of the physician-patient privilege is to encourage the patient to make complete disclosures of his or her symptoms. Okay, but it doesn't say anything about.
Go ahead and get a screenshot or pause your screen.
This
more about the laws and the rules. More on page 10.
Let's see if anything is relatable. There's just more rules written down. See, like it says right here, a blood test for diagnosis and treatment can reveal a tremendous amount of information about a patient, including the existence of a disease. So, like, it doesn't, they're not even outlining that mom was present during the time and all of this was going down. And I'm looking at my other device, by the way, just to make sure I don't miss any of your comments. That Bowling with Cotton Ball says medical staff should have removed mom based on her behavior to the beginning of regardless. Right. They didn't do that. Articulate says she invited her mom to the room, so there's no violation there. That's an argument to be made as well. It just, if there was a concern for trust, couldn't we say that the issue was then trust? Like, she wasn't disclosing, she was still denying having sex even after she had already given birth. I don't know. It Talks Baby Girl says the HIPAA privacy rule contains an exception permitting a covered entity to disclose the PHI to law enforcement officials without patient authorization if there's a court order or court order warrants. So what he's saying, so the argument he's saying is that there should have been a court order before any of this should have been released to the public. Any and all. Everything.
It's on page 11 here. Now down here, police and one of the doctors of ALEXEE TREVIZO came into her hospital room where she was to be examined and where treatment was supposed to be happening to prevent excessive bleeding and blocked her being able to leave. She was in detention. Police, in fact, told her that she was being
So she is reading 41. 39, I'm going to go up to 39, says that the court likewise should
detained
such procedures.
Thus, she was in custody for purposes of
should conduct such a procedure in this case. 40. ALEXEE TREVIZO made statements to her doctors and her nurse she meant to be private and privileged. Number 40. She made statements that were meant to be private and privileged. So why was mama there? You know, like, how do you gain trust? Like, I don't know. I just feel like this just doesn't, I don't know. That's just my thought. Maybe she consented for mom to be there, but I mean, clearly it didn't work very well because mom, I feel like Lexi was more worried about disappointing her mom at that time than she was actually about the fact that she just gave birth to this baby. I don't know. Police and one of the doctors of ALEXEE TREVIZO came into the hospital room where she was to be examined and where treatment was supposed to be happening to prevent excessive
of Miranda,
bleeding, and blocked her being able to leave. She was in detention. Police, in fact, told her that she was being detained. Thus, she was in custody for the purposes of Miranda. The doctor coordinating with the hospital then questioned her, such as done in violation of Miranda versus Arizona. Okay, they list the Supreme Court rulings and.
The doctor coordinating with the police then questioned her. Such was done in a violation of Miranda versus Arizona. This is page 12. Page 13.
Statement should be suppressed. Number 42, police committed misconduct. 42, police committed misconduct. Okay. For wrongfully obtaining and disclosing confidential privilege information. 43, for example, intrusion into the attorney-client communication from defendant's computer required the dismissal of charge. Prosecutor's intrusion into attorney-client communication from defendant's computer, presumably prejudice defendant. Trial court was required, I can't even see, it's so small, to devise an adequate remedy for the Sixth Amendment violation, even in the absence of any request by the defendant, and the taint or prejudice caused by the prosecutor's intrusion into the privileged communication would be what does that say? Irremediable on retrial, warranting dismissal of defendant's conviction. Another example of dismissal of charge is when a lead police detective who, during a recess in a trial, read notes.
Police committed misconduct
at the
for
defense.
wrongfully obtaining and disclosing.
Hold up, girl. I'm gonna mute you real quick. At the defense table, which included a defendant's communication with his attorney. In this case, obtaining and distribution of privileged information is so willfully. There is no remedy that is sufficient except dismissal of the case with prejudice. He said with prejudice. Not without prejudice, he said with prejudice. Okay? True Crime Time, would you put that down on the chat again? Because you were writing it down. The differences. And anybody else that wants to put that in there to understand what this attorney is wanting. The public disclosure of publicly available information is entirely distinct from the public disclosure of private information that happens to be known by a few, or in this case, by a very few, who were governed by laws and rules to keep the information private and confidential. Sadly, the desire to cover up constitutional, statutory, and rule violations by the Artesian Police Department and Artesian General Hospital have resulted into a massive violation. Lord, and massive. Hold up, I'm waiting for Abby to read. Abby's reading right now. As soon as she turns that page, we're going to read it. Publicity, thereby destroying ALEXEE TREVIZO's attempt to get a fair trial before a fair, impartial jury. He is looking into change of venue. Okay, keep that in mind. It is very likely that he's gonna make this request. He's looking for a change of venue. Keep that in mind. Okay, and I mean, that town I think is only like, hate to make this comparison, it's only about 12,000 people in that little city, little town, right? Yeah, like it's you think he will win for a change of venue based on that? It sucks, baby girl. It's very likely they're not going to even have his trial in there. I mean, interesting. Thank you for listing that. What is interesting about this, it is a Hail Mary. He must know, that they don't have as much other than these technicalities. Right, right. Like he's pulling it. You would request one? Wow, that's a lot of graduates in high school. I would request. You guys would request one? I don't know. So let's keep reading. Respectfully request all statements made by ALEXEE TREVIZO be suppressed. All medical records disclosed in violation of the privilege and or HIPAA may be suppressed. The case to be dismissed due to misconduct and for such other and further relief as to the court is just and proper. Yeah, I don't think anybody's going. I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't even think the internet's impartial at this point. I don't know. You said move it to Alabama. She'd walk with the plea deal. You think a change of any would happen? I mean, I don't know. What about if the patient lied from the beginning? If it's still doctor patient info, if ALEXEE would have died and mom wanted to know why? Well, that's a good. I mean, that's a lot of depends. I mean, I guess. Yes. Gotcha. Give me one sec. Ooh, sorry, you guys. Oh, no. Why did I say Alabama? Albuquerque. Sorry. I don't know why I said Alabama. Why am I thinking about Miss Carly Russell right now? Sorry. It was not my bad. All right. Forgive me. Forgive me. You think she's going to walk? Look at the chat. Now, many would give her the benefit of the doubt. Innocent until proven guilty is lost at this point by the sound of it. I mean, I definitely understand. Let me see where everybody's at. Okay. So we did a poll and you guys are still voting. Make sure you're hitting that like button because we have, oh, let me refresh this little thing right here. See where the votes are actually at. Please hit that like button. We have over 238 people watching and only 158 likes. Are you guys voting? We have 160. We have more votes than likes. I don't like that. Hit that like button. Will this result in mistrial? 25%. This will result in mistrial. 25%. Dismiss with prejudice. 30%. And nothing. 45%. Nothing. You guys don't think this is going to result in anything? They might. Hold up. What did you say? They might let her walk because this case is going to expose a lot of the misconduct. They might drop it just for the self-preservation. Wow. It's a lot. It's a lot. I don't know. I agree. I agree. Let's just remove the new part of and give the land to Mexico. Can't be a mistrial if the trial hasn't started. Right. You didn't see her disposing your child away. I don't know, Belinda. I mean, it's just like we've been following this. We don't know what's going to happen next. The trial's set up for what, next year? You think she's going to get this? I want to know what the judge is going to say. Listen, I want to see what the DA is going to say. I'm going to see what the judge is going to say. We're going to sit right here and see what they're going to say. We're going to go from there. Okay? That's what we're going to do. Right? We're going to see what happens from here. I mean, it's just so crazy to me, right? I don't know. What do you guys think? Okay. I'm going to close this poll. Thank you for hitting the like button, those. And let me tell you, these results are so interesting. We're going to close the poll right now. I'm just going to stop. Not everybody voted, but I'm assuming that people just don't like polls. I just ended the poll. And my computer froze on that poll. I don't know why. Here it is. End the poll. I'm ending it. It won't end. It wants to get out everybody's votes. I don't know. I wanted to get your thoughts on this and see where you guys landed with this. I mean, is it possible? Will she get will she get to leave? Will she get to go? Will this be dismissed based on what these issues that the attorney raised? Is he pulling at every string that he can? There are attorneys out there that are saying, you know, I would do this, I would do that. He is defending his client. At the end of the day, does any of these technicalities, what do they have to do with the fact that this baby was put in a trash can and the liner was double knotted? She put paper towels on it. She put another liner on top of this baby. This baby suffocated. Okay, this baby entrapment, that was the word that was used. And if he's going to raise issues on these autopsies, he didn't raise it on this motion. When is he going to raise them? Because he was saying that on court TV when we reviewed it. What are we doing now? What is going to happen here? What do you think is going to happen? Is ALEXEE going to get to walk based on these technicalities? I'm curious to know your thoughts in the comments. If you're watching the replay, please hit the like button. Make sure you check out this TikToker by the name of Abby Blabby. She's been following the case, as well as Bayou Brandy, another one. And I'm going to link their two names in the description box. We definitely give them credit for their time and their work as they're reviewing this case. Shout out to them. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Do you feel like, again, are these technicalities going to be the thing that allow ALEXEE TREVIZO to walk? Will this be the thing that allows ALEXEE TREVIZO to walk from this? And if that is the case, what does that say for all the other young women that are in the same type of situations that aren't using these safe haven boxes out there? It's not that simple. No, it's not. No, it's not. Were her rights violated? We knew that this was going to happen at some point. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. I'm going to head out. You guys have a great one, and I'll see you on the next video. Rabbits out.